It's Dragon Ball time! Hello and welcome to another figure review. Today we're gonna have a look at the S.H.Figuarts Broly Super. That's what the box says, but this is basically Broly in his regular form, not the legendary Super Saiyan. You got the regular form, and then you got the regular Super Saiyan form from the Broly movie from Dragon Ball Super. So let's have a look. It's always fun to me when Figuarts does another big guy for the Dragon Ball line, because it's something different. It's not just not a Goku, because we love those. He stands at about almost 20 centimeters, really to the tippy top of the hair. Well, more like 19 and a half. 19 overall. And that means he goes up to almost 7.9 inches or 7.8, depending on where you want to look at. And I want to focus on the face. I mean, I always focus on the face first, but this one is special. This one is really good, guys. Is this the first time they did the angry eyes, as I like to call them, where the iris is very small? And I really dig that. It fits the character so well. He needed that. And it looks great. Then you got shading also a little bit in it, and you got all the lines. It's just like the light brownish going down just to accentuate his anger. And the scar is also molded on, not just painted on. You can actually feel that. And the face skull, I mean the mouth, has the white that a little bit goes over to the tongue. That's the only paint issue I can see in the face. But everything else, it looks really powerful. It looks really good. Then you got the hair sculpt. You got the spiked up hair, where it's angry but not yet Super Saiyan, not yet legendary. It's a very nice sculpt. It's different. Has lots of detail, lots of lines going through it, and it's very sharp, very spiky. So be aware of that. Then you got the plain green shoulder pads, and the color scheme, it is kind of muted, but I don't hate it. It really depends. Once more, we're looking at fan art, we're looking at the anime itself. I feel like the anime of Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, yeah, it had its own distinct style, and it was a little bit more colorized, I think. And if you combine that with the rest of the Figuarts line, he would look weird. So I kind of get that they're going a little bit more of a safe route with the colors, with just making the colors not stand out too much, because it would look weird compared to everything else. Then you got the black, the white. It's actually nicely done, which I'm happy with, because usually when you have black and white working together, they try to cover up the black spots, but I think they just kind of put these pieces on while they painted it properly, except for there. Goes over the line quite a bit, yeesh, on the other side too. But you don't really see it if you have it in. But, yeah, it's still there. And you got the white line around this torso and kind of loincloth thing, which is cut up in two pieces. There's also a bunch of detail in it. It does look very plasticky though. It is plastic, obviously, but the look of it itself, I mean, it's good from afar, but the closer you get, it looks kind of muddy. There's bracelets, which aren't the cleanest. The problems are small, but they're still there, with the lines that aren't completely straight. Kind of go a little bit awry, some places more, some places less. And you can lift this entire thing up. It's nice, light brown under there, consistency. And you got the legs, the big beefy legs with the purple pants. And the shiny knee joints, those really stand out, Jesus. And we go down to his big feet. Now, the other thing with the feet, it's kind of weird. I feel like that was like it did look in the Broly movie, and then once again we come up with the difference in style. Usually, like old Dragon Ball Z, everybody has really small, fairly small and sharp feet. To have them so rounded, it's kind of weird. It's different, but it definitely helps with stability. So that's a good thing. What else is a good thing is the articulation. Let's start off with the head, which is just on a long ball pack, so nothing too fancy with that. And I try moving around without moving the neck. Let's see. Goes forward, goes to the back, not really because of the hair. And then you have also side to side. I guess the hair is really what's blocking everything. It would go all the way around, but again, hair. And then you got the neck articulation. I think that's really what gets more out of it. Goes forward nicely. Goes also to the back. There, the hair, you can push it back. So you can get some good powering up poses where he howls at the moon or whatever. This entire piece, I mean, we've seen it before. This entire piece rotates out. As such, Gives him some pretty decent forward motion. Again, for a big dude, this is impressive. Shoulder part itself is on a hinge and a ball that you can also rotate in there, so you get even more out of that. And with the hinge, goes up 45 degrees. We also have ball hinges in the shoulder area, so you can bring that back and forth, move it up. It will never completely, well, it will line up, but then you don't really have a lot of range with it. But I appreciate the idea of just pulling it up as much as you want. So your posability can be free. You have bicep swivel, which doesn't swivel all the way around because his muscles are too big. You have a double hinged elbow, and the fist is on a ball hinge. That is the most standard stuff these days for Japanese figures. And in the chest area, the chest is, yeah, I don't know what the chest is. Has some wiggle motion, but apparently we're not gonna get much out of it. Go side to side, goes, yeah, just really just small motions, nothing too impressive. And the torso piece, let me see that one, goes all the way around, and also has some side to side motion. Is the loincloth over here that is connected actually. Oh yeah, for some more articulation. Never mind, I forgot about that. You got the upper piece, and then it's cut up, so you got a big hinge in the back, which is nice for some battle poses, but then you have nothing for this, so it just breaks everything up and it doesn't really accomplish anything. So that's just kind of weird. The legs, you can pull them down. You have a hinge over there, so it goes up very nicely. As you can see, the green stuff doesn't get into the way. It goes to the back and moves out to the side and disconnects. Give it a little bit of too much of a push, but it might as well show you what's in there. It is a ball joint, it is connected. You have a floaty piece in there which covers up everything nicely. I just take that out of the way for a second. And as I mentioned, you can pull it down because this entire joint is on a hinge. Double hinge knees, and the foot is on another big ball pack. Go side to side. Forward, not that much. Backwards, a little bit more. And finally, there's your toe hinge. So what's the rule about big guys? Not a lot of accessories. Now, the one thing I'm lamenting here, and here's the faces. As you can tell, you got completely different hairstyles where it's not powered up, and then you got the Super Saiyan one. Problem of that is, we only got this one Super Saiyan face for Broly. You only got the gritting teeth. For the other ones, obviously you can switch out these two if you want to, but that's it. You don't. I'm happy that they're giving us all the different hairstyles instead of re-releasing more Brolys. But just one more Super Saiyan face, please. Like a smirk or whatever, I don't know. Yeah, sadness. Then you got the hands, open hands, and just kind of fireball, posing hands, grabbing hands, whatever. And you got the device to put that around his neck, or don't, whatever you want to. It's just a ring. Oh, now I'm married to Broly. Ah! Okay. Anyway, that's the silver ring. Nice and metallic. And it's going to bring me to the final thoughts for this Broly figure. What do I think about this guy? Overall, he's pretty good. I mean, there's some parts that are really good and some parts that are meh. I mean, the mold's great. Shading on the muscle work is awesome. Paint job for the most part is good, but does have some slips, especially on the shoulder joints. Can be hidden, but shouldn't have to be hidden. So, depending on where you stand at, that might be a bigger or lesser issue. I'm okay with it. Again, the rope looks kind of muddy, but won't be an issue as long as you don't go in too much and go like, hey, which dish? So, and finally, the articulation is very, very good. The only two parts that I kind of feel are weak are the chest and also like the ankle pivots. I kind of had a little bit of trouble getting him into a good pose where he was standing up, but at the end I still got one, so that's all that matters. So overall, I do recommend this figure. He does have his flaws, and oh yeah, also the face needs more faces. That's actually the one thing where I'm just But yeah, overall, yeah, I do recommend him. He has his flaws, but it's still overall a pretty good job in delivering another Broly. So kudos to that. So that's gonna do it, guys. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, card game stuff, and whatever Broly wants. Like more faces!